Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Future Stars live on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Hassan Shah, and today we are going to be talking about the Shahadat of Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, and we're going to be including a little bit of a Tawheed topic in this as well. So before I continue, I'd like to introduce my guests.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Misbah.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mohsin.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussein.
Thank you for the introduction, and like we do on every show, Misbah is going to read the surah, Mohsin is going to read the translation. So can we start them off with a loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. لإلاف قريش إلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف صدق الله العلي العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, for the taming of courage, for their taming we cause the caravans to set forth in winter and summer. So let them worship the Lord of this house, who has fed them against hunger and have made them safe from fear. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Thank you for that. And remember, whenever you are reading surah, make sure you read the translation as well, so you know the history behind it and also how you can implement it into your life. So today we are talking about which Imam?
The fifth.
Yeah, the fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. And who's he the son of?
The fourth Imam.
Fourth Imam. Imam, who's that? Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. And this is going to be like an introduction, because soon we're going to be starting topics leading up to Muharram and Ashura, and we're going to be starting leading up, and this is going to this is going to be talking a little bit about the events that actually happened after it, and also the downfall of Yazid and what actually happened. So Mohsin, you've got the first thing. So can we start Mohsin off with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
The fifth Imam, Imam al-Baqir, was born in Medina on the 1st of Rajab, 57 AH. His effort was Abu Jafar, and he was popularity titled al-Baqir. His father, Imam Zain al-Abidin, the son of Imam Hussein, and his mother was Fatima, the daughter of Imam Hassan. First, he was the only Imam who was connected with Fatima Zahra from both his potential and material sides. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir was brought up in the holy lap of his grandfather Imam Hussein for 3 years. For 34 years he was under the gracious patronage of his father Imam Zain al-Abidin. The holy Imam was present in
Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Thank you, Mohsin. So Mohsin gave us only a little bit of an introduction to Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. And what did he mention there?
He mentioned that the father of Imam Baqir was Imam Zain al-Abidin, and the mother was
the grandson?
Was the
was who? The grandson of Imam Hassan.
No, the daughter.
No, it was the daughter of you can read it over again if you want to, Miss Ba. And so he was the only Imam, like Mohsin said, to have like a connection to Bibi Fatima from his mother's side and his father's side as well. So he was the only Imam after that to have that connection. So that's just only a little bit of an introduction of Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. So Miss was going to go into some more detail. So can we start off with the last salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
The Holy Imam was present in Karbala at the time of the gruesome tragedy of the wholesale massacre of his grandfather Imam Hussein and his companions. He also suffered with his father and the ladies of the house of the Prophet the heartless captivity and the imprisonment at the hands of the devilish forces and at the command of Yazid ibn Muawiyah. At the tragedy of Karbala, the Imam passed his time peacefully in Medina, praying to God and guiding the people to the right path. Lord.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Thank you, Miss Bess. So Miss Bess there was just talking about that he was actually he was there when he was actually in Karbala, wasn't he, when this event happened, like you said, Miss Bess, and he would be quite young there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he at a young age he witnessed the massacre of his family, didn't he? That's what he actually witnessed. At a young age he witnessed the massacre of his family, and seeing that for a young child it could be really distressing, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what else did Misbah mention there? So first thing about Karbala. And did you mention anything else there?
And
That him and his father suffered it.
Yeah, him and his father. Because remember, Imam Zainul Abidin at that time he was in Karbala as well, but he was too ill to fight, wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. He never actually fought in Karbala because he was actually too ill to fight. So him and his father actually suffered witnessing the massacre of Imam Hussein, and so their family, so they witnessed that massacre, and then afterwards as well being persecuted and put in jail, and their journey that took them from Karbala to Damascus and to where Yazid was, to the court of Yazid, and that whole journey there that tired them, and also children were killed there as well. So thank you for that, Misbah. Hussein, you've also got the next bit, so can we start Hussein after the last salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. The downfall of the Umayyads has begun since Yazid, the son of Muawiyah, who had slaughtered Imam Hussein. Yazid himself had completely realized the evil consequences of his deeds, even during the short period of his rule. His son Muawiyah II refused to accept the caliphate, saying, "I cannot favor such a throne which has been erected on the basis of oppression and tyranny." Ibn Hajar, a famous scholar of the Sunniyat school, says Imam Muhammad al-Baqir had disclosed the secrets of knowledge and wisdom and unfolded the principles of spiritual and religious guidance. Nobody can deny his exalted character, his God-given knowledge, his divinely gifted wisdom, and his obligation and gratitude towards spreading knowledge. He was a sacred and highly talented spiritual leader, and for this reason his popular title al-Baqir, which means expounder of knowledge, kinds of heart, spotless in character, sacred by soul, and noble by nature. The Imam devoted all his time in submission to God and advocating the teachings of the Holy Prophet and his descendants. It is beyond the power of man to count the deep impression of knowledge and guidance left by the Imam on the hearts of the faithful. His saying in devotion and abstinence, in knowledge and wisdom, and in religious exercise and submission to God are so great in number that the volume of this book is quite insignificant to cover them all. The Holy Imam managed to collect the teachings and reforms of the Holy Prophet and his Ahlul-Bayt in the forms of books. His pupils compiled books on compiled books on different branches of science and arts under his instructions and guidance. In the excellence of his personal purity and godly traits, the holy Imam Muhammad al-Baqir was a model of the human prophet and his great-grandfather Ali ibn Abu Talib. His emotions created a spiritual sensation among the Muslims in general. He was not only hospitable even to his worst enemies, but also used to continually exhort them to the right path. He urged people to earn their livelihood by their own hard work. The Holy Imam gave much importance to convening majlises, meetings in commemoration of the martyrdom of Imam Hussein. Kumayl ibn Zayd, one of the most famous and highly talented poets of that time, used to recite the elegy of Imam Hussein in those meetings. Such meetings were also greatly encouraged by Imam Jafar as-Sadiq and Imam Ali al-Raza, the sixth and the eighth Imams. The Holy Imam continued his preachings peacefully till 114 AH on the 7th of Dhul Hajj, when he was 57 years old. Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, the Zen ruler, had him martyred by poison. The funeral prayers for this Holy Imam were conducted by his own son, Imam Jafar as-Sadiq, the sixth Imam, and his body was laid to rest in Jannat al-Baqi, Medina. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. Thank you, Sayyid. So Hussein mentioned a lot of detail there. So from where he was beginning to the end to his death, and so he mentioned quite a few things there. And at the start he mentioned because Yazid was what was happening to him?
There was a downfall.
Yeah, why?
Because he martyred the Imam Hussein.
Yeah, Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
And what's it called? His son refused to take the phone as he thought it was like.
Yeah, so what was happening was Yazid he was having this problem now. People are not like kind of in support of him, and because of the action that he's committed, because it's been put out there now that he ordered the killing of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the only left grandson, the grandson of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he actually done this, and it would obviously it would cause a lot of effect on the people. So and then his own son, who was, what was his name?
Muawiyah.
Yeah, Muawiyah. His own son Muawiyah, he actually declined when Yazid saying, "Oh, take the phone." You know how Yazid's father, his name was also Muawiyah, he gave the phone to Yazid because that was his son, even though it declined it, because he actually, Muawiyah had a peace treaty with Imam Hassan alayhi salam, and one of the things on there was that he was not allowed to appoint a Khalif after him. Yeah, but actually Muawiyah disobeyed that and actually appointed Yazid, as the next Khalifa, and Yazid now being he's gone to the end of his life now, and he wants to appoint someone else. He's so like his father, he says to his son, to be the next king, but actually his son declines. And why did his son decline?
Because of what happened and what he did, what crimes he committed.
Yeah, but what did Muawiyah say?
No, he said, I cannot accept this throne because of what you did, and
because for him to establish his leadership on the throne, he committed the atrocity of killing Imam Hussein alayhi salam, didn't he? Yeah, and Hussein, I think he's gonna tell us what he actually said.
I cannot favour such a throne which has been erected on the basis of oppression and tyranny.
Yeah, so that's what he actually said. So meaning that he cannot take this throne because of what it was built up from, the killing and the oppression of Imam Hussein's family. Yeah, and so he's actually so if a knowledgeable person comes along and understands what's happening, even his own son, Yazid's own son, even noticed the tyranny of what this throne was built up from, that he actually rejected taking the leadership from Yazid, and then actually Hussein went on to go talk about a Sunni scholar, and what he actually mentioned on Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. And what was he talking about there? What did he mention? Because even he talked about the kind of the knowledge and the wisdom of Imam Muhammad Baqir and Hussein. What did give me a few things of what that Sunni scholar actually said.
Imam Muhammad al-Baqir has disclosed the secrets of knowledge and wisdom and unfolded the principles of spiritual and religious guidance.
Yeah, and he meaning there that he had this knowledge and he has this will, and he wants to spread the religion of Islam in the most like strongest way he can, and he would do anything to do this, and his life is actually focused on this. Yeah, and even some Sunnis and other people, they can't actually reject how of a strong and an important personality he was to spreading Islam. And what did Muhammad Baqir go on to do? He had some
majlises.
He carried on the majlises that were made by
Imam Jafar.
It wasn't Imam Jafar Sadiq's son. You're getting Imam mixed up there. But actually, who do we think the first majlis was actually made by? She actually started that off talking because she wanted to continue the story of Imam Hussein and wanted it to be an example to people, didn't she?
Yeah.
So it's all up to them that it was all up to them that now we know what happened there. Because if it was if they never actually done these majlises and told about what happened, do you think we would know?
Nope.
No. Now we're gonna talk about because Hussein mentioned there, because he actually had some students, and he would tell them to write about what things, about sciences and arts, and about the religion of Islam also, and he got these things compiled together as well and he made books as well teaching us about these things as well. So and then what happened was a Khalif came, didn't he? Actually took over from Yazid, didn't he? Yeah. And what did he do?
Martyred him by poison.
Yeah, martyred him. Yeah, by what?
By poisoning him.
Yeah, by poisoning him. So so you just what does it goes to show? because actually even or you can see this reoccurrence when we talk about these Imam, how their death happened with the Khalif. They're almost trying to hide the fact, isn't it, so it doesn't spread, their knowledge doesn't spread. Do you understand? Yeah. So thank you for that, for talking about that. So what we're gonna go on to now is we're just gonna continue a little bit of talking about the Tawheed, what we were just talking about, and before Hussein goes on to what he wants to show, he's got some stuff, extracts about from Naj al-Balagha. Do you know what Naj al-Balagha is?
Yeah, it's a book that was written during Akhulullah.
No, not Naj al-Balagha.
Imam Ali wrote this.
No, yeah, Imam Ali wrote the stuff in this, and it was the sayings and stuff of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and it was actually compiled by some scholar or some I can't remember the name actually. And he also I'm actually before we go on today, we're gonna have a short break. And Hussein, so you got stuff from Naj al-Balagha, and what else?
The Hadith of Mufazzal.
Yeah, and he's going to talk about some hadiths as well. And what does that what you're going to be talking about? It's just about the creation of Allah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just continuing of what we talked about last week. So thank you for so before Hussein starts, we're gonna have a short break because we ended we run out of time for this half of the show, so we'll see you in the next half of the show. But until then, good office.